What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I want to talk about 5 things that I'm really hoping Treyarch does when it comes to Call of Duty Zombies. I really think that this year is going to make or break the franchise. Let's get into the 5 things that I think are going to be very important for Call of Duty Zombies going forward in Treyarch's next game. Okay, coming in at number 5, linear storytelling. I understand that storytelling is hard, and I don't even want to try to begin to become an author or a storyteller. That's not my bread and butter. I'm not good at that. Treyarch hit home with Ether, and it just kind of spiraled due to the love and the passion that the developers had and the fans had. I think this time, maybe we need to ground the story a little bit, because once it got fantastical, things escalated and we were always hoping for the next greatest thing. So if the story is grounded, I think that can actually open up a lot for the developers, where they don't have to constantly think of these crazy imaginary things. We need a linear storyline because the time travel shit just makes it confusing. It would be helpful if the story was just told in order and they just made a great story. That's all we really want. Just something to sink our teeth into a little bit. Make a great story, make it fun, make us want to be a part of it. Coming in at number 4 is good boss fight mechanics. And just like the linear storytelling, you want there to be a progression with these good boss fights. Like in World War II, you had the final Rite, which was a great boss fight, a fun Easter egg, but then you had the Darkest Shore, which was this boss rush mode that wasn't really that fun at all. And it wasn't even a boss fight, and people were pissed about that. You also had these like weird trial modes or whatever at the end of the last map for Black Ops 4, which was Tag der Untoten, and the map before that, which was Alpha Omega. You had these weird just rush modes. They weren't really boss fights. They weren't necessarily bad, but they weren't great, and they weren't satisfying for the Ether storyline because they already blew their budget. If you kind of combined the grounded and linear story elements and have a progression for the DLC season, we could arc to have great boss fights throughout the season. The first map could have an epic boss fight because they've been working on it forever and they're going to want to go out with a bang for the first map. Well, DLC 1 doesn't have to have a boss fight. Then maybe DLC 2 has the biggest boss fight because, again, it's kind of the climax of the season. DLC 3 comes around, we don't have a boss fight. DLC 4, we can go out with another bang. So there's like 3 huge boss fights and then 2 little small things in between there. And throw in some survival maps, and they don't always have to have boss fights. We can have fun mechanics inside the game other than boss fights. This comes to number 3, which is the Easter eggs and the quests. And this is more of a topical kind of conversation. So don't make the quest stupid and random. I don't want to solve a cipher in the middle of a quest. I don't want to pull out a map and have to do fucking functions from algebra. It's sometimes a little too excessive. And I'm not too big of a hater of the 45-minute YouTube guides. I just listen to them when I'm in the shower or something. And since I've been playing zombies so long, I get them. It's not that big of a deal. But it doesn't have to be a 45-minute thing. You can make puzzles difficult without having there to be some crazy ciphers and all this shit where you have to look outside of the game. I want to be able to play the game and remember stuff inside of the map, kind of like an escape room. Let me utilize clues from my surroundings to figure out how to get out. The Easter eggs don't have to be complex either, and make sure they don't end the game. And another thing that would be great is if there were rewards for completing them. Maybe you complete the boss fight in under 45 minutes. You get 3 gobblegums or elixirs. You get COD points. You get camos for your guns. You get perks, like stuff that you can use from outside of the game and bring them in, like the masks or the dragon wings, stuff like that. For that specific map, it'll make you want to play to earn those rewards. And I guess people like customization for their characters. I don't really see the point because it's a first-person shooter, but I digress. Number 2, perks and in-game mechanics. So go back to the old perk system. The new perk system wasn't that terrible, but I don't like how they implemented the main perks like Jug and Double Tap and Speed Cola into our character from the beginning. I don't like how every perk in Black Ops 4 was equal to each other. Every gun was equal to each other. Every map was equal to each other. It was just load in the map, get whatever perks you want, build the shield, get the wonder weapon, fight the boss, and then the game was over. It was the same map every single time. None of them had their own unique identities. They didn't even have their own unique color palettes, really. I also don't want modifiers. I kind of understand an argument for them. It's kind of fun to have unlimited sprint for stamina up when you put it in your modifier slot. I think that can be fun. Then it just makes me use stamina up all the time for every map. If I want to play an Easter egg, it just gets me around the map faster. Why wouldn't I do that? I just don't think that that's necessary. Like, you know that in Black Ops 3, Deadshot is not as good as Jug. So you weigh the pros and cons about which perk you want to get. If you happen to have a consumable like a gobble gun that gives you an extra perk and you get Deadshot, then so be it. Then you have Deadshot. It's not necessary. I don't think the crutch perks thing is a bad idea. I don't know where this negative stigma came from. And I think the fact that the developers thought it was negative was a bad mindset. And another in-game mechanic I hated in Black Ops 4 was timers. They had timers for everything. Time slip was a perk, you know? It made the box shoot out weapons faster. It allowed you to pack a punch faster. It allowed perks to cool down faster. It allowed your specialists to cool down faster. Why was there timers for anything? Let the game reward you through killing zombies and doing things that way. I'm pretty sure in Black Ops 3, you just killed zombies to raise your specialist meter back up. And then through that, you'd get power-ups like max ammos, nukes, insta-kills, and all that stuff. It doesn't make sense that we would have timers, because then you don't have to do anything. You can just run in circles forever. And don't kill off the last zombie. If I want to keep it around for 45 minutes, let me do that. It's my game. I don't understand where the time system came about. And a lot of people didn't really talk about that. And I think that's a big problem in Black Ops 4. The maps are the same, the guns are the same, all the quests are the same, and there's timers for everything. It's really strange, and I did not like that at all. Okay, so some bonus honorable mentions. Okay, side modes. If they're worth a shit, then I guess put them in there, whatever. Otherwise, fuck off with the side modes. Make the standard mode great. I don't need gauntlets and rush mode and all these other side modes that just aren't very fun. I did each gauntlet because I was bored and I wanted something to do, but they didn't give you anything, and it was no different than the Easter egg. It just was a bunch of random quests, and then it was over around round 30, which is when the Easter eggs normally ended. So what was the difference? And sometimes they wouldn't even let you do the boss fight, which is the best part. So why would I do that? Regular updates. After last year, I get it. Zombies is not ever going to get the amount of updates that multiplayer or Battle Royale will get. It's fair. Not a lot of people like it, but at least twice a month would be great. And just don't overhype it. Don't overpromise. Don't lie to us with marketing and say we're going to get factions and Newton's Cookbook 2.0 and more elixirs than ever before. And just don't backtrack on what you're going to say. Don't overpromise. Just give us what you can give us and be realistic about it. I think we've learned our lesson in Black Ops 3. We had way less content and the game was way more fun. But I just think, again, because Treyarch's super ambitious, they overpromised and we just ate that shit up. And as far as consumables go, just make them fair. Don't make it 30 plasma to earn 1 elixir or 3 or whatever the fuck it was. Make it 1-to-1. Make it fair to earn the currency to where if I do buy it, it's actually worth it. And if I want to earn it, I have to, try, but make there be rewards in game where I can earn that stuff. It's not fair to just suck us dry and then release a half-ass product that's not even very good. Black Ops 4, it's not that the game was bad. It's just wasn't unique. The story was really kind of boring. It didn't get good until Ancient Evil for the Chaos crew. Ether went down the toilet and every map felt the exact fucking same. And the Easter eggs were just so stupid and hard and it didn't make any sense. And this leads me into my number one point, and I'm sorry for being a little critical on you guys, but Treyarch, do not be afraid of your own shadow. Do not be afraid of your past. Can't imagine what the team of Treyarch has been through. Zombies is the best game mode I've ever played, and it's changed my life, and it's gotten me into YouTube, and I love it so much. But creating something out of fun, and then having it turn a profit, and loving it, and having different directors, having different ideas and ambitions, I can't imagine what that's like. It's something I'll never, ever probably get to experience. What I do understand is how hard it is to compete with yourself. Infinity Ward came out with a decent zombies game. Sledgehammer came out with a decent zombies game, but they were not not Treyarch because they don't have the Treyarch magic. I think Black Ops 4, we would have saw a little more magic if we hadn't seen other developers try to make zombies. But sometimes, I don't even think BO3 was that special of a game. The community understands you're human, and that's what we want. We want the human connection with Treyarch because you guys are a special studio. And with Black Ops 4, you guys cut off ties with the community so fast once you realized you fucked up. It wasn't right. We would have been a lot easier to forgive you if you would have just talked to us. Where did Jason Blundell go? In Black Ops 3, he was talking to everybody all the time, inviting people out for previews of DLC maps, having Zombies Chronicles. There was no Zombies Chronicles 2.0. There was no invites for people. I mean, I think there were a couple, but they were not covered to the same extent as Black Ops 3 was. And that's what the community wants. They want a connection with you guys. They don't want this, oh, blue screens and then nobody says anything. Just tell us, hey man, our game is fucked up and we're gonna fix it. Just give us time. It's gonna put a little damper on the season. We're sorry, but we got you guys in the next game. And none of this matters if you guys don't have it in you to make a fun game. And I don't mean that you guys don't have it in you because you suck. I mean, if you guys don't want to make this game that's authentically your ideas, your vision. We all know that Activision's gonna shit on it in some way monetarily. I'm expecting it, but that doesn't mean you guys can't make a game that has your heart and soul in it. And I think that if Treyarch can do that and have an open line of communication, and whoever the new lead director is on Zombies, if he gets to know us or she gets to know us, I think we can have another amazing year come 2020 to 2021. If this doesn't happen, I'm afraid it will be the end of Zombies for good. So I'm sorry to end this top 5 on a sour note, but I have hope in Treyarch and I hope that they'll do what's right. Thank you so much. My name is Alex, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.